Link to the Past Randomizer Ladder presents the 2023 Megatational. And today we have It's a Mystery to Us All, Zelga versus MistaEd, and we're underway. Look at this, Clear Mouse, they're starting without us.
I know.
All right, well, we got
they're
some
also
sort of key
starting-
sanity.
We did, and yeah, so as you mentioned,
And
this
we
is
have
mystery. It is
Link's house.
inverted. That's right. Is this insanity?
Well, we
Oh, no.
started off.
What? Link's house, right?
Yeah, we're inverted.
Yeah. I'm scared, Rick.
Inverted cross keys, it looks like, or some sort of.
Okay, all right. It is not insanity. I'm not even sure that the insanity is actually in the mode for this. We actually do look like Ed. The very first one actually in Dark World, because this is inverted. Looks like we actually do start with pseudo boost. We do not actually see real boost lit up on the tracker. Thank you, Magic Pixie Dust, by the way, for keeping track of everything.
We also found Swamp Palace at the Thieves' entrance.
Fun. Do you think hints are on? Do you know
I
if
don't
it's
know.
not a mystery?
Ed didn't tell us the answer.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, so this is actually gonna be a pretty fun match. Of course, we've got this. You mentioned this is the Megatational, one of the best tournament names I've heard to date in this community. So big shout outs to Dunka for coming up with this. Ooh, look at
And
Zelda is going to
Zelda's
check.
checking.
Yeah. We found the compass to Swamp Palace. Ooh, okay. It looks like the hints are actually indeed on. Time to actually get a couple more tips from the game itself in order to try and find things.
So the row of pegs lead to a chest.
Yes, a chest. Only one.
I don't know about you, but that sounds like a pretty nice hint for what is the peg cave.
Oh yeah. Okay. By the way, Ed ended up dropping down to the curiosity shop. We actually is the library. We can't get those arrows quite yet. I was actually probably more miffed about the fact that there was a full magic drop right when he jumped down, and that he unfortunately could not get. But it should be fine.
Bad timing. I know he wishes he could have that at least at this stage.
I actually do see that we've got a couple maybe predictions, unofficial ones in chat saying when is Zelda going to realize that he in fact can dash? Did we see some boots dust being kicked up there? No, not yet. This is quite the trademark, a hallmark, if you will, of Zelga's gameplay, especially for Mystery Seeds, Mystery PogChamp races in particular. I believe he has taken quite at his leisure to figure out whether or not he can have pseudo boost in order to dash or not.
Yeah, I think as soon as he hits the A button, at some point he'll figure it out.
Yeah,
this lack of bombs is becoming very, very troublesome here.
Yeah, and we actually do see we found 300 rupees in a Blind's hut earlier, and money is super nice, especially for inverted seeds. Except now that we have inverted entrance, those bomb sources like the shops may not necessarily be as easily obtained.
All right, so we at least have two chests we got to come back for. We also did see the lower exit out of Paradox over at the Dark Chapel. So, yeah, we've got some fun going on here.
Yeah. It's exactly what you want to see in mystery settings. Of course, this is all, of course, Dunka has certainly worked very, very hard in order to improve, enhance, tweak the settings, to be, somewhat more of an actual, mystery. And certainly has outdone himself. We're looking at least an inverted cross key seed so far. We don't actually know what else there is. We don't know the crystal requirements to beat the seed. We don't necessarily know the pendants and crystals yet. We don't necessarily know many other things. We're just gonna sit back, get the popcorn, and enjoy this nice Monday night.
Shoot, I was supposed to bring popcorn?
Well, I think it might be too much, to ask of our runners to actually provide us, with some popcorn. They're gonna be too busy actually putting on the show for us.
If only there was a convenience store just around the corner.
That's true. But this is inverted cross keys. I don't know if there's anything that's convenient. Oh, never mind. We did find a bomb shop in. Is it the bomb shop? Okay, it's like the lesser bomb shop. That's like the real
It's Link's house.
True. Yeah, but I think so far, the time is definitely ticking on Zelga's side. We are eventually going to figure out, maybe, that we have pseudo boots. We just have to first get out of the light world, or
That's
find that nice boot
vanilla.
girl. Yeah, how dare, Dunka? Can you fix these weights? How dare you roll vanilla entrances? That is not what we paid. Whatever ladder bucks that the generous patrons have decided to support you with.
All right, so I think I've noticed a couple of things here.
Only a couple things, please, Rick, enlighten us. I am
All
all
right,
all ears.
so Ganon is vanilla in the inverted sense, and I don't see the hole to get down to him.
That is an excellent observation, Rick. It looks like we might have to. Well, okay. We don't necessarily know the goal, right? Or can we have a pedestal goal? Do you know for inverted cross speed?
It's possible, but otherwise we are going to have to go through Ganon's Tower, which we got the
Yeah.
small key and a big key early on.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so we saw
100%
Paradox
pedestal.
Middle, by the way, from MistaEd was located
my gosh.
at the brewery.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. And already we're gonna see once eventually Zelga gets there, it is one of the two most important items for him. It's gonna be one of the two items that make Eastern Palace difficult. We saw Ed pick up the Eastern Palace big key. Only the bow is left to remain, and then Zelga can happily frolic into Eastern Palace. The place that he's always wanted to go is just that somehow he has this big mental block that prevents him from going there. We have a lot of compasses too, by the way. I've also noticed.
You mean Zelga avoids Eastern like the plague?
Yes, and in fact, it probably is less, more so than the plague. I don't know what's worse than the plague, but yes,
I mean, they're not the Eastern skippers this season.
that is true. Thankfully. Otherwise,
Dark shopping mall accessible.
Yeah, already. Yeah, we're already kind of made our way over here. Oh, great. We always, Yep. Oh, see, no, Ed doing a very, very good job remembering that pseudo boots do not, in this case, you can't bonk open bombable walls. Ed is definitely taking full advantage of these pseudo boots. Zelga is, okay, alright, what do we think of some numbers here in chat? 10 minutes? 8 minutes? The entire seed?
As soon as Zelga finds boots.
As soon as Zelga finds boots. Great point. Are these boots? Is that a heart refill? Oh.
That's a sword on Dig Game.
Ooh, that is super nice. Master Sword already on 3 hearts. Yeah, very, very exciting. Certainly, I mean, the best offense is going to be the best defense is a great offense, right? The Master Sword certainly very much help, especially in Dark World, all the enemies. You're kind of expected to have at least Master Sword when you first come in the Dark World, and even then it can be pretty challenging, so always really good to see some extra firepower, or Master Power, whatever. Yeah, Broger, everyone is very hopeful for Zelga to finally press and maybe hold the A button. Wouldn't that be something? Zelga needs to get high pay
in
first.
theory.
In theory, yes. Everything is very theoretical here in the land of Zelga. We already have 700 rupees apparently, by the way, on this.
Zelga's figuring it out right now.
Zelga has figured out that we have boots. Okay, who guessed 8 minutes? He also might die. He died. He did not die just in time. Good job, Zelga.
Yep, he now knows it.
Yep.
All because he was trying to get to that chest. That's the only reason why he realized he gets pseudos.
Yeah. See, I guess dark rooms, and not
There
having
he
the
goes.
lamp, yeah, suddenly a gigantic benefit for Zelga. Oh, hilarious.
All right, so 8.5. 4 crystals to
okay.
enter GT.
Very interesting,
Or
yeah.
what the entrance is, that is.
Mm-hmm. And it's the pedestal, Rick! Oh, well, now I fully believe that Dunka, when he said it could 100% be pedestal, that is proof by example right there. And what better way to initially save it? Hello, lazy kid. Right at
I'm not convinced.
Yeah, we might need some third-party verification here. Are there any consultants in chat? But it is gonna be kind of interesting. We do need 4 crystals to enter GT. It is the GT Castle Tower entry. That particular entrance. We may not necessarily need it, just depending on this case where our pendants are. But it also could just lead to nothing. But it is something to keep in mind.
All right, so what are our pendants this seed?
That's a great question. We are definitely gonna have to want to find Sahasrara. That would be a very sure, definitive, reliable source of the green planet knowledge. Everything else, we're gonna have to hope we find some maps. Have we found any maps, by the way? I was trying to look at the tracker and I don't see a single one marked on this thing.
We found
Not because-
compasses.
That's true. And it's not because our trackers are lazy or incompetent. It is just we just have not found anything for them to actually do. Ooh, an uncharacteristic failed bomb jump here.
Are you defending our tracker at this point?
Well, being part robot, I think I have to really stick with my fellow robot brethren. I don't know what those are. I think they are really just trying their absolute hardest here.
All right, Death Mountain Descension leads up to Death Mountain.
Yes, I think.
Dark
Yeah. Yeah, and I actually do see a little bit of speculation as to what kind of interest is it. It looks like it's restricted so far. I don't actually see. I haven't seen anything that would otherwise indicate this is anything more than that. But we also, in this case, Ed also found a lamp somewhere. I must have missed that, but we also found the old man rescue, so maybe not as painful. Zelga, though, finding the big key to Skullwoods. I don't think we've actually been to the front, right, so far? So that'll actually be kind of a nice check when Zelga eventually goes over there.
Zelga checked the
You did?
midsection.
Oh, okay.
And then went down into the pinball room, but didn't want to spend both keys to get to the
Right,
left
yeah,
side.
yeah. That definitely makes sense. Yeah, sometimes Skullwoods keys, especially here, is you may not necessarily want to put yourself in a Skullwoods small key go mode position. Maybe in this case you can maybe just try and hedge, maybe do part of it. We are. Oh right, I was like, are we farming money? No, we in fact had to leave one chest behind in Blind's hut because we had no bombs, and we didn't have
And
real
now we
boots.
do.
Water. Yes, that's true.
And you get
And
more
we have more
bombs for it.
bombs. Yeah, easy.
Hooray!
Yeah, do you remember? I wonder if these are the original hints that we got in non-entrance, some bombs, lock bombs, something like that. That could have been a hint, right?
Those are such great hints
Oh
too.
yes. All right, well, so we actually do see Devil Homer as the bunny sprite of regular Homer. I really actually love these sprites. They're just so well done for people. Ed is gonna die though. Yeah,
Yeah.
that is.
Unfortunately there for Mr. Ed, there's our lamp.
Gotcha.
So unfortunately for Mr. Ed, just getting bonked around all over the place by everything and anything, the cabbages and dead rocks and oh my.
Do you think that there's a reason why this place is called Death Mountain, Brick?
Because it's filled with sunshine and happiness and rainbows and
Rainbows
good
and
times.
lollipops? Yes, that is exactly what I think of when I hear death. Sunshine and rainbows and lollipops. Exactly. We are playing inverted, so I believe every single statement that we've said so far is absolutely correct. Oh god, we got more money. Yeah, and also keep in mind that because we are here in the light world, we have no pearl. Even though Ed has picked up a master sword from the dig game that Zelga does not have yet, that master sword cannot be used in Homer's current, devil form.
Did you see that hint?
I did not, in fact. I was too busy watching Ed not die. What was the hint on Zelga's side?
Alright, so Zelga gets a hint at the left side of Swamp, or not the left side of Swamp, the left side of Mire will be a bottle and 50 rupees.
Interesting. Okay. That is actually some pretty interesting information. It is still, adherent to the key logic on the left side, so you do need 3 Mire Smalls, but certainly on Ed's side, at the Hype Cave entrance, we did find Lazy Kids, so, if maybe push comes to shove, we may need to actually pick up that bottle. I'm thinking that they probably don't care about the 50 rupees, though, because, just looking at their rupee count, I really can't imagine them really wanting that much more extra cash.
I mean, they might still need it.
True. We do not know what else would be fallen upon our heroes of inverted Hyrule. You
They might
could.
find they might go into the wrong game and find the door repair charges.
No. You're right. Nothing. We cannot. We don't have that kind of cash and luxury to be able to afford such big purchases.
All right, so I guess the question now becomes, where is our next stage progression going to be?
That is an excellent question. So far, so I think restricted, we're not going to be able to use these connectors to our advantage as much in order to get to, Light World and Dark World and vice versa. So we're going to probably have to look for some Light World access here. And so far, I have not seen a glove, nor hammer, nor a pearl. Now, pearl, for what it's worth, like, doesn't have to necessarily be, available per se, because you could do a lot of, in this case, bunny walking in the Light World in order to go get your pearl, but we certainly are going to need some amount of major items here in order to actually get us over to the Light World.
I think the
What do you
problem
think
is
that's
that
going to be?
I think what the problem is that we have a lot of Light World entrances that we can walk over to, and at this stage, it feels like we are going to have to bunny walk our way towards that progression.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, we certainly saw a lot of entrances in Death Mountain. I mean, I think Ed, in this case, had already explored some of the East Death Mountain stuff, probably to no avail. But
Yeah,
I think his. Hmm?
We did find Spike Cave. Obviously, we can't do anything about that without a hammer, glove, or the Moon Pearl. We
Yep.
also found Waterfall Cave, and there's not much we can do there at this stage unless you want to let an enemy push you into the door.
Yeah, that's and of course keep in mind all this stuff is not in logic, right? You're not required to try and, get a little closer to some of the enemies, in order to damage boost in. That is certainly not. By the way, speaking of really getting up close and personal here, we are in the back of Skull Wiz on Zelga's side, and we are going to, looks like we're going to defeat Mothula, or we're going to at least attempt to. This is quite the play, from Zelga's side. Very reminiscent of his spoiler log days, it seems like, because you're pretty much not coming here on much better stuff.
I mean, you gotta get ready for the playoffs.
Yeah, no, that's very true. Zelga, in fact, his being piloted by Shady and Pilot Sport for Game 1 in League, lost their race by a very, very razor-thin 7 seconds. Zelga played out of his mind. I mean, so he's certainly very, very capable. But I mean, he certainly shows he is able to do spoiler and low percent. Now, that being said, of course...
I'm just gonna say that any team that makes the playoffs is shown that they do deserve to be in that stage.
Oh,
they
100%.
are of that level. So it doesn't matter if you're talking about Zelga's team or name any of the 16 teams that made it to the Invitational playoffs. As we did see MistaEd having a little bit of an unfortunate issue with the Kern jump, so he had to abandon that play.
Yeah, that's, I mean, and yeah, unfortunately, the bottleneck there, the limiting factor was in fact his number of bombs, so we unfortunately had to cut our trials short. But certainly not, not gonna be the worst thing. May not necessarily be the greatest of morale boost, but, yes.
So,
we're talking about...
that piece of heart fell in the middle of the room.
Oh, Rick, you have an excellent you have a really keen eye here. Are you thinking what I'm thinking, Rick?
I'm thinking that we just had a vanilla boss just by circumstance, and that we could be dealing with some sort of boss enemizer here.
Yeah, that's a very excellent point. I think Dunka also maybe alluded that, there is a small percentage of this being enemizer and boss shuffle. So we're gonna have to go and see. Well, we did pick up one crystal, it actually does look like. Now, of course, the crystal doesn't actually get us anywhere closer to the ultimate goal of the seed, which is, of course, pedestal. But at least it is maybe one step closer in order to open up that GT entrance. Alright, looks like though Ed has tried to do an alternative fake flipper, at least in near Dark Shopping Mall. He does need to be a bit careful. Looks like he is, alright, safe enough. Very well done.
Also, a possibility that Chad is bringing up is about the damage shuffle, which also would be an enemizer mechanic.
So far I haven't seen anything that done an abnormal amount of damage. However, we could have some coincidences. That being said, we also haven't really gotten hit all that much, so best way to not take any deaths is potentially just to not get hit. It might not always happen, but I mean, at least the dead rocks, I think, on Death Mountain and the boulders, we're still doing 1 heart of damage to add. So again, it could be a coincidence, but at least there is some data point that would indicate otherwise. Now, of course,
And
mhm.
I was just gonna say, what we're seeing from MistaEd is totally out of logic at this point.
Oh yeah, yeah. He tried real hard in order to get over here, without really any logical means, like for example the
Hmm.
flippers.
I did not notice that we had the flippers up there on the rock, but there they are.
Yeah, yeah. Well, we may still need to go get those. We don't really have a way over there. We still need a pearl of some sort, maybe to cross over from East Death Mountain. Mirror would certainly be very helpful. Zelga, having a little bit of extra health compared to Ed, he is actually going to go and try out this entrance that Ed apparently could not get to. It is the dam. Interesting. Can we actually pull this as a buddy
Yes,
or
you
as a move?
can. Yes, you
Okay,
can.
that is great knowledge. I am very glad that.
As long as you get hit, there you go.
Oh, I see, I see. Okay, so not in logic, but it
Mm-hmm.
is. I'm very, very interesting. Okay. All right. So when I eventually get over the South Shore, Zelga at least is gonna be able to check out that drained item, and he looks. You know what? Look at the other thing he's gonna try and do. He's gonna wait for the dead rock or a boulder, maybe, maybe.
Oh.
I can't believe that the dead rocks and boulders can't even do their job correct. You stand still, right? And you just want to get hit. They hit you, and it's not even the direction that you want to be hit, right? And then you try to avoid them, they will hit you in every single direction that is the most negative for you. Buy some arrows and bomb upgrades.
Game just does not want to cooperate with our runners. Tower
No.
Hero, by the way, was at the Palace of Darkness.
Oh, interesting. Okay. Good thing Ed had all that money in order to pay Kiki. Good thing this
Yeah,
is also inverted.
all that money that we're talking about. Hey, here's another hint, perhaps. A storyteller. Thank you so much. Save your
Yeah.
rupees.
That's right. Yeah. So 5-6 crystals today are not going to be a concern to us. We do not, in this case, need the pyramid fairy, big bomb entrance. Yeah.
I
This
mean,
is kind of a
unless you're
benefit.
really stumped, you're not
Oh,
going.
yeah. Do you think they even give
Oh,
good hints? Oh, well, hello, Mini Moldorm Cave. Another great cave that we would love to have the pearl in. And unfortunately for that particular entrance, we could not get any help in trying to get into the super removal states. So Zelga's gonna have to come back for this one. Meanwhile, though, Ed is trying to at least take one more connectors. I think
yeah,
already
he's
been
trying to get
here.
back up the mountain.
Mm-hmm.
He's trying to
Yeah,
get it
yeah.
back up the mountain because he took that death earlier, so he wants to see
Right.
what these
Mm-hmm.
entrances are. Because if this turns out to be a loose lying item, it could be the Moon Pearl, but we know it's not because what we just saw from Zelga.
Right, exactly. But I mean, but certainly very, very heads up on Ed to try and, again, tie up what you consider to be loose ends, right? Especially probably facing a formidable opponent such as Zelga. May not necessarily want to try and open yourself up, to some like vulnerable, like last locations, because that's really kind of, if anything, Zelga can do it, it's going to be efficiently full clearing everything. Now, of course, that being said, Mr. Ed, I believe he has run a whole mystery tournament. Mr. Ed's Mystery
Oh,
Mayhem,
right.
something. Yeah, I actually do feel like if you're gonna, like he is actually has probably like a higher edge, potentially running mystery modes here.
I forgot we still had this possibility with Agate Tower. Now, nothing there, but this also, because it's inverted, means we have access to the 3 other entrances on the right side of the mountain.
Yeah, and getting through the Lynels here is you are expected to be able to do so. It may not be the most pleasant of experiences, but Ed's got 4 hearts. We can gonna take 1 damage boost away from the fireballs, and then yeah, we're right through.
And over here we have 10 arrows, not what we need.
Yeah, but I was gonna pick them up. I think maybe he cared more about the hearts, honestly. But if you're already there, picking up the hearts, you may as well go pick up some extra ammunition because you never know when you're gonna pick up a bow, and if it is there for you, right, you got a little bit of extra firepower. I completely missed what that was, but I'm sure our
Bombos.
tracker. Thank you,
Bombos.
and Rick will be very astute and pick that information up.
Spiral bottom.
Yeah, not super useful. Because we definitely want to find Spiral Top. I heard. Hey, Brick, how do you feel about Spiral Cave?
It's a cave that exists. At what level, I'm not going to tell you. It's a cave that exists.
Well, Rick, for what it's worth, you are here on the Ladder channel. You are not restricted or bound by family-friendly rules for language or mentality. So feel free to let out your truest feelings.
It sucks.
Thank you, Rick. See, Dunk, wholeheartedly approved by Duncan. Uncensored commentary. There is Ed's scouting of Spectral Rock, Spectral Rock on top. We're gonna find those flippers. So his forays at least into logically breaking out the right side, I guess, of Dark World. He knows, in this case, once he has the mirror, he can actually go get them.
I have a question for you.
What's that, Rick? I might have an answer for you.
Has either of these runners checked to see where Old Man Back goes?
I think the answer is no. I don't think so. They might be saving their... they're probably gonna try and finish up what they can, and then maybe go to Old Man Back?
Alright, Saga's gonna go in here and get the sad news about this agate tower.
Mm-hmm. Now, is it actually really, truly sad? I guess you would like to come here with one key, right? Because...
yeah.
Well.
The reason why it's sad is because this isn't what's going to lead to progression. That's the main reason.
Oh, yeah. I can certainly see that.
As items start to dwindle, you start really wanting to see that progression show up, and it's not there yet.
Yeah. And I get, for what it's worth, though, like, if you're going through all this and you're gonna be last locating your Light World entry in this case, or whatever, the first of the things that open up Light World entry, your opponent probably is gonna go through kind of something similar. And of course, there's gonna be a lot more game to play, so maybe you don't feel as bad, but it's never a good feeling. As Ed is pondering his different choices, he might be really trying to figure out, where his next thing is. Oh, that's right, he is actually frozen. His timer is not looking super hot.
Yeah.
I was like, this is a really long thinking time.
Yeah. This is not one of those, what the heck am I supposed to do here type of moments. This is a freeze.
Hands up. Yes. It is not quite freezing outside quite yet, at least here in New York. It is pretty close, though. I guess we're all just getting ready for Thanksgiving and winter. Don't worry, Detective Dunka is on the case. He is our best detective so far.
Oh!
We have a map!
A map!
A map! Oh. Well, that's actually not bad, right? We got Turtle Rock.
Information.
It is, yes. We have not found any of the 4 entrances into Turtle Rock, so I guess we're gonna have to, have some... We'll get the information eventually.
There we go.
Okay, thank you, Dunka.
MistaEd has found what appears to be Pyramid Ferry over at the game shop. And there's Hotel Mario.
Yeah, it's just slightly displaced. Because it's a little bit in north, originally in north, in the village itself, but it's just kind of got, in this case, slightly displaced. Hey, look, it's a bottle. We do not need to do right side Mire anymore, unless, again, somehow they need that extra 50 rupees. We have found the map to Hyrule Castle. Thank you, Bottle Wizard.
Zelga did the wonderful work of getting into the sanctuary. And then got trapped out because you come back out as...
that's right. Oh, that's right.
Give Zelga the effort for that one. Just, ow.
Yes. the yes, the oh ow for effort. I very much wholeheartedly endorse that. All right. Well, and I managed to get super devil state on Homer's side, so we are actually gonna still, I guess, be able to dash. Certainly, we're gonna try and make use of those Suda boosts as much as we possibly can. And those sword beams. Yeah, that's right. I totally forgot about the sword beams. Oh, look at that nice bow that we found here in the front of Escape, coupled with, I think, the arrow upgrades that both Ed and Zelga purchased. As soon as we get to our regular form, we're going to be able to do as much bow landmos as to our heart's content.
Hey, a
That is
big
what they like to do,
key.
right? The big key too?
Oh
Hmm.
my. Okay, I missed the hint.
It was something about Skullwood skis near Moldorm, so at least one of the chests in Mini Moldorm Cave has a Skullwood small.
Okay, I'll take it.
More importantly, well, even though that now the bow is still out of logic and we have not found Eastern Palace yet, once Zelda goes to the front of Escape, he will be very happy. One happy
Another
mule. We have
bottle.
another bottle here on
Now,
Lumberjack.
this
Okay,
bottle, isn't this bottle in logic?
I believe you are correct actually, because we were able to bunny walk all the way over here, and everything and drop down is certainly very valid. We also found a book here in Checkerboard Cave. Missed the entrance.
I believe that's the lumberjack home.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Broger also making a good point in chat, in that we had already did find Sikit, so eventually
Yeah,
when we eventually go back into the Dark World for Hype Cave entrance, we can go turn it in.
and that's the reason why I bring that up,
Yeah. No,
because that could be our moon pearl.
yeah, I was even thinking that too. Yeah, the Moon Pearl could certainly be in very peculiar locations, right? Things that you wouldn't necessarily just like come up with, on your own accord. We're gonna take that book, by the way. We're gonna go check out Pombo's tablet. We do have two swords. One of the nicer things about Inverted, I guess, is that you don't have to necessarily go to the whatever Dark World, Light World, Mirror, run away. We
Oh!
have our pearl. Amazing. Where was that book? Where was that entrance?
The book was in Checkerboard, which was at the lumberjack home.
Oh
In
my
logic.
gosh, right.
In
Oh,
logic.
wow. Yeah,
Oh
completely
my.
amazing. That what a pearl. Suddenly, all of the so now we actually have light world access. We're here in the light world certainly, and we have our moon pearl. So now all of this we can actually go search for real things, right? Like book or not book, glove, hammer, real
I
boots.
love how we can go look for book when we already had the book.
Yeah, well, we like libraries. One book is never going to be enough for us. It's like different volumes of the same tone. What does this make
That
you
kind
feel?
of thinking is what keeps Barnes and Noble in business.
True, that's true. I actually do wonder how many people actually go into their real stores, their brick and mortar ones. But it looks pretty cool once you go inside. We did find a big heat of Swamp Palace, by the way. We did
Yes,
see
we
the
did.
flippers. Yeah, of course, on Spec Rock. And we're still gonna have to need at least one more item in order to actually go get those flippers. But yeah, we apparently can, once we get the flippers, and maybe that Swamp Small Key, which do we have? We also apparently have, yes. We can actually at least make some progress in Swamp Palace.
All right, there's your book right there at
Mhm.
the lumberjack home for Zelga. And now we can do everything that we wanted to do in this seed.
Yeah,
Mostly. And MistaEd3 is about to get information about what is required to beat this seed in
mhm.
due time.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, and unlike Zelga's predicament, he will suffer no such lockout because, well, he has the pearl. Imagine being able to actually walk out of Sanctuary or dash out with the sword, and cut through all those bushes. It's a nice feeling, isn't it?
Yep. Now head down here, find out that this is Ganon.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but so he is gonna be, he probably take a quick peek as to, just on top of the north before he enters in Hyrule Castle Main, which is vanilla. He's like, okay, well, I'm then he's gonna go find Chi somewhere, and then he's gonna read the goal. He's gonna figure out this pedestal, and then we may not, I don't know if he'll be relieved or not, but it'll certainly be different.
It's a case where you now know what your goal of the game
Exactly.
is.
Yeah. That's also true. That's actually probably the best case.
And Zelga's gonna get the bunny bee gone in just a moment.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, meanwhile though, Ed is gonna do the front of escape. We've also got the lamp. Of course, coupled with the bow. We are gonna be basically make a pretty short work of this. We do not have the Hyrule Castle small key, as far as I can tell.
Nope.
So yeah, so some of these checks are gonna be out of logic, but we're here and we're already we can. I think we can get to the back of escape separately. So
Yep.
I don't necessarily think we have to worry about this. We'll just get everything here.
Back of escape is located over at the drop down next here to the castle. So they'll just head over to the drop down after they're all done here. Moon Pearl picked up for Zelga.
Easy. Probably was smiling and chuckling to himself. All right. So okay. So even though so now both Ed and Zelga both have their full abilities within Light World. Now we can actually go play the game. All right.
But we don't have the real boots yet.
We're trying. Okay. Now we can pseudo go play the game. We're trying. We're gonna try real hard.
Oh, so we're ready for that piece of
Oh
heart
yeah.
to give
Oh yeah.
AL3 fill.
Big same. And we're so hard in order to try and get that the death warp. But we were not part of the full heart recovery club, at least not today.
Thank goodness.
And
There's the
actually, in
big
this
key
case-
to swamp.
Yeah, and kind of contrary to Zelga when Zelga was here in the front of escape, Zelga had no pearl, had no lamp, did not find out that he had boots. Oh wait, what was the hint? What was the hint?
Boots are in Desert's Palace.
Wait, what? Oh.
Boots are in Desert's Palace.
Ow. Where are our keys? We need it's either on Lamos or it's on Right Side Desert, right? Because we tried everything else.
And that's all because Zelga knows that the hints are on, so...
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's funny.
This is a
Ice
small
Palace
shop.
small. And there's the mirror.
And the mirror. All right, that is a very big ticket item. Oh, and a nice blue bottle.
So the big thing at this stage now is that Zelga is knowing that hints are on, now knows where the real boots are in the event that we need the boots for something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and of course, right, real boots. Certainly, still, you would need boots in order to access still some logical locations. There are, of course, hard locking like bonk rocks, both in Light World and of course in Dark World. Anything on torches. Real boots are required to get into Mire, for example, if you don't have the hook shot. There are things that maybe we have the luxury of being able to dash everywhere with pseudo boots. Sometimes it's very easy to forget that you don't have real boots, and then you try to bonk something off the torch, and then you're just very sad.
All right, we're finally gonna get the look at the old man back entrance here, which is probably gonna dump you out of Spiral Cave. That's my guesstimate.
Okay, we'll see.
Nope.
Ooh.
Oh, race game. Okay.
Hey, did we scout this early? We must have scouted this.
Maybe Mr. did during that freeze.
Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah, that's true. He jumped down so quickly.
Hammer.
Oh my gosh, yeah. All right, well, so we have some pretty big ticket items on both sides now. Zelga with the mirror, and MistaEd with the hammer. So, I mean, combined, certainly they have like an incredible amount of access, especially in this case with Death Mountain. Zelga's still eyeing longingly.
Cave.
Yeah. Okay. Well, again, keep in mind we cannot do any part of Hookshot Cave without real boots or the hookshot. I don't actually think that either. Okay, someone can correct me if I'm wrong. If Ed knows how to hover, I don't think so. Zelga will make one attempt, but you certainly need something in order to unlock Hookshot Cave there.
Our breadsmiths have been located.
Mm-hmm.
And Zelga's going to show us what is at this entrance here.
Yeah. Also, one of those, I don't necessarily consider gotchas or anything like that, but it is something that can be often overlooked and inverted. Just like in this case, when you play cross key, sometimes some entrances you don't necessarily would expect or think about in order to mirror there, and that is one of them, in inverted.
All right, Eastern and Skull are our
All right.
5-6.
All right, we have not found Eastern Palace yet. We do have everything to go into Eastern Palace. Now that being said, as we did find out, it is a 5/6 crystal. Maybe Zelga is not interested. We have a map check. Very astute observation earlier on the item drop on Mothula when we were in Skull Woods.
Yep.
You did a very good thing. This is definitely boss shuffle.
Yep, because we have Helmasar King here in Turtle Rock.
Now, if I know anything about Zelga, and not only because he absolutely loves to dip Eastern Palace without the big key or the bow, he is a huge fan of Enemizer. Huge fan. When Zelga watches his back, he will certainly confirm everything that I've just said. And if you believe this, I also have other things. I have other things I could sell you.
Why do I have the feeling that you are not telling me the truth on this one?
Well, you know, it might just be heavily laden with something called sarcasm, but
Mouse?
It's yes, Rick.
Mouse?
Yes, Rick.
Is this the same kind of Zelga that is his enjoyment of Animizer as much as his enjoyment of diving through Eastern without the bow or the big
You know
key?
what? I believe you are correct in your assessment, actually. Rick.
Thank you.
I believe that is a true statement. We can certainly ask him in the interview if he chooses to come in and chat with us later. But I do believe that is a correct assessment. By the way, though, do you remember that map that we picked up when we drained the dam out of logic on Zelga's side? We also see a nice capital P. Also been pointed out in chat from Magno that it is one of the pendants that are required in order to go beat the dungeon floor. Thank you. Nice other map. That is completely useless.
What does that P mean?
Well, it means a crystal. One of those new things that we have to go beat. B32 preview.
I mean, I have difficult understanding what the difference between a P and a C means.
Oftentimes, when you have a 7/7 crystal goal, sometimes you probably end up doing more pendants than you do crystals, or more pendants than you would like, and you really wish that those were crystals. All right, we are here in Laser Bridge. This is, I think, not in logic, right? We still need a cape and entrance for this cape or shield.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So far, looking real useful here so far on Laser Bridge. But good thing he got the that extra heart because he could have just died there.
He would not have. He would have been sorely missing that one. Small.
Yeah, the additional GT small, yes, because it definitely seemed like we are probably not going to touch GT. Well, we hope that we don't have to go touch GT, but because it's a pet goal. But we'll see in this case.
If we had to touch GT, then I am sorry.
Yeah, it may not necessarily be the greatest of experiences for either Ed or Zelga. Alright, but looks like though we are at least getting. Oh no, I think maybe Zelga was. Oh, I don't remember. Oh right, we have no glove on Ed's side. Just trying to auto piloting into basically. Oh, of course we can go pick up these rocks that we totally have a glove for.
Well, the big thing is that he was trying to get into this cave here.
Right.
Which you can do an inverted. It's just you couldn't do it the way that Ed was trying to do it. All right, so this has to be the well, yeah.
Oh, cool. Yeah. All right. That's always really nice to see. We are gonna get 5 items, and we have one always good thing in order to come into the well. Drop down is you want that extra bomb. Good thing we picked up the capacity fairy. Okay, so we have a Mire map. That's actually pretty useful. Yeah, we are still on the lookout for 2 other pendants. We have not found a Hospital. Oh, this is TR small. Always nice to have. We have another TR small. Okay, we have. Apparently, we have enough TR smalls to, I think, probably do the entire dungeon at this point.
At this point, knowing that Helmasar is the boss, all the Zelga really needs. I mean, you want the hammer, but just the Canis and Mario.
Yeah, that's very true. Yeah, because one thing that entrance gives us, just those pegs that Ed just basically hammered through, is that you don't necessarily have the expected amount of equipment that you would normally have in non-entrance, right? In non-entrance, you would have the hammer. You would probably have some decent sword-ish, right? Maybe at least master sword. You have both rods. That's not necessarily the case here. Zelda also
Oh.
showing us that mirroring in inverted is very difficult. Uh, we probably don't play much inverted. Otherwise, we might have a better idea in this case of uh,
We
where to
got
mirror portal.
blind.
We
We
have
got
okay.
blind in
I'm
Mystery
glad you
Mire.
caught that. I'm glad you caught that because I had no idea what that boss was.
And blind is so wonderful in that goo, too.
Oh yes. Maybe we could find some sword beams or something. That would be kind of nice. I don't think we ended up catching what was like. I don't think we had a Mire. Right. Zelda does not have the Mire map, right? That was picked up by Ed. So we do actually not know necessarily what Mire is going to be.
Ed is gonna find something out about this seed really soon.
That's true. That's true. I think we picked up a Hera. No, we did not pick. Okay, Zelga picked up a Hera Small. But Ed in this case has not. So he's going to at least be able to get another dungeon out of the way. And yeah, we're very sorely in this case looking to see where our remaining pendants are.
And
Ed
Mr.
actually checking
Ed
hints.
does check the hint, yes.
Oh, I
Which
like
could
these,
clue him in that he might want to do more of that.
I do appreciate the duality of the 10 arrow pickup in the map chest on Zelga's side versus the 10 arrow pickup on the big chest in Hera.
I do too. Mr. Ed bouncing downstairs. I hate doing that. I've done that too many times.
That is not the kind of Moldor Homer bounce that we are looking for. Only crossing the gap.
Finds out this is an atomizer in 3, 2, 1.
Oh no!
Oh dear!
Well,
It's
looks like he's
Petrius.
Yeah. Good thing, by the way, we went through Atomizer in League Week 7. Just in this case, we've got some extra practice. And I think they're probably both very thankful that they picked up the arrow capacity upgrade as well. Ed is certainly taking a very cautious route. These eyes hurt a lot.
Oh my!
Oh wow. Yeah, Zelga picking up the big key to Turtle Rock here in Hera Basement.
And considering the fact that that's a pendant, that's huge.
Now yeah, that's right, because we definitely need that big key in order to get to Tridents.
And Mr. Ed is gonna have that become pretty much a loose square. Because he's going to be finishing off this dungeon, then the basement's pretty much dead to him.
Yeah. Now, I'm trying to remember if there was anything else kind of in this area that he might be incentivized to come back, but, I mean, I'm not sure if Mr. Ed's ever, one of the Hera Basement believers, but it is, yeah, as you mentioned, I think it's going to be kind of a harder sell for him to come back for just that one check.
I mean, maybe he thinks about coming to it at some point, but because we know he's going to need to, it's the question of when. And it is a crystal, so this is not part of our goal. Yeah,
I guess it's one fewer dungeon that could be a pendant. Yeah, alright, so we actually see, so by the way, I think Ed did a fantastic job taking down Vitreous, especially on his equipment, taking it certainly very cautiously, trying to be up top. And eventually kind of taking the eyes down one by one. Zelga, though, got a little bit of extra health. He is also full of courage without the green pendant, honestly. Basically just facing Vitreous head on. For someone who says he does not like Atomizer, I think he is dealing with these bosses like very well.
I mean, now he's going to play a little more carefully. He's got the blue goo all set, ready to go.
I do see that. Yeah, definitely better safe than sorry to be able to use this. I believe we are still on blue-green mail.
And I think you also can see what Zelga's trying to do is just try to hit the main eye here. Because if you do enough damage to the main eye, you could get yourself out of this or leave just very little to have to do.
Oh my gosh, dude.
That is a beautiful fight right there.
That is amazing. Phenomenal on Zelga's side because he didn't even have to spawn like the big eye shaking animation for phase 2. Whether that was intended or not, Zelga killed Vitreous in one phase. Phenomenal.
That's the reason why you're seeing Zelga attack the big eye as opposed to the small eyes, because that damage does add up.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It did very, very well. All right. By the way, speaking of, so we got a small pod key on well, Vitreous this case. Speaking of, then we immediately just hop straight over back into Palace of Darkness. We do have the
Yep,
bow for the logical bow lock side access, and we're gonna. But I don't think we can get much more in this dungeon for its logic. But who cares about logic? We're just gonna get as much as we can out of this
Ed
dungeon.
walking past another hint tile.
Good points. I see. Ed seems to have a very memory, or maybe he just doesn't care about hints. He found the one hint, saw that it was completely useless, and then he's like, no, all the other ones are also going to be completely useless to me. And for what it's worth, I think other than that boots hint that was all I got, it hasn't really been super useful. It hasn't been super good.
And we can't do anything with the boot hint just yet either.
That's true. Yeah. Yeah, and really, like, the boots are just there to unlock more logical things, right? Like bomb crocs, torches, mire entrance, maybe, stuff like that. The speed, right, is no longer a concern because we have pseudo boots. And Zelga, it only took Zelga 8 minutes to figure that out. I'm so proud of Ed to be able to basically figure that out immediately. I'm just. All of this, by the way. Yeah, all of this is good fun. No bullying for Zelga.
You're going to grief Zelga over this, aren't you?
I'm sorry. Well, it's. I feel like he just needs some reinforcement sometimes. Because as you can see with some of the stuff that he just refuses to go do about Eastern, right? He just needs a little bit more. He can be quite stubborn. Ed, on the other hand, though, I feel like he is extremely, adaptable, right? He will do what it takes in order to give himself the victory. By the way, we are actually, I think we came with one pod key, right? and we did the big key, so it looks like Ed. I think this is very pragmatic of him. He's going straight to Helma. We don't know what the prize of this dungeon is, but we've gotten like everything else as a crystal. This may as well just be a pendant.
All right, check it. Your guesses in. What do you believe is going to be the boss of this dungeon? Answer is...
Armos. Hey.
Bingo.
Hey, I guessed right. We are here on not as many arrows as we'd like. It looks like Ed, though, with full health. This I think is a very good strategy. So he actually not a sword beats. I think he can maybe even knock them into the spikes in the back. I think he's trying. Yeah. Which is very, very well done on its side.
All right, the next question after this is this a pendant or is this a crystal?
It
is a crystal.
Another crystal. Do we potentially have access to that GT entry now? We have two.
So we have 2 crystals. And how many was it to enter?
It was 4.
It was 4. So we don't have all the information that we need just yet. You see, Zelga with the Skullwoods complete. As anyone knows, you need a particular rod in order to consider Skullwoods being beatable. So it's still not in logic yet.
Yeah, not to mention like 3 Skullwood small keys that we also do not have. Yeah, Zelga, obviously shown like he did this very early too. I think it was like 4 hearts, something. Lamp, no fire rod. He certainly did. No hammer.
And comes up with the vanilla Mothula just by chance.
Yeah. Alright, looks like we also found hookshot caves on Zelga's side. So right now, kind of like a battle between Zelga's mirror and Ed's hammer. I mean, I don't know how bad or good Zelga and Ed respectively will feel in this case once they get like their other, like the dual item, that the other one has.
Oh, that's our access to the light bumper. And on the other side, Super Bunny.
Ooh, all right, so this should be good. Yeah, and I do think for what it's certainly very possible that, as you mentioned before, that Turtle Rock Big Key that was sitting in Hera basement is going to be kind of, a bit more wary, just in terms of the outlook in this case for Ed in order to go pick it up later. Alright, looks like we're gonna trade, just some, whatever. We're gonna trade spots here between Ed and Zelga. So Zelga's gonna take care of North Light World, and then Ed is gonna kind of take care of the Desert Palace area. I think sometimes. Oh, okay. We did slightly better on Zelga's side, and that he didn't have to necessarily go all the way in order to realize we have no gloves. But in this case, I think he also is keeping track.
Speaking of having gloves.
Yeah. No, and it's super easy. All right, we've been playing an hour, basically. You know, it's short of an hour. And you're here. You have, like, you surely have gloves by now, right?
Yeah, sure, whatever.
Yeah, well, that's the hope. It is also very easy to see, basically, just how easy it is to just kind of autopilot and default into, you know, what you think is gonna be, you know, the normal thing to do. Speaking of, Rick, where are these gloves? Where do you think these gloves are? Has there been other places that we haven't been to necessarily? Ooh, okay. Ed is also, oh, that's kind of nice. So Zelga was in the area.
So, I have a thought.
Yeah? Please enlighten us.
Swamp Palace.
Swamp Palace. We had just picked up the flippers on Ed's side.
And we have a small key.
And we have a small key. And we drained the dam, both on Zelga and Ed's side. That is a very great prospect, honestly, in order to go get something out of Swamp Palace. It's gonna be Ed's mirror. Yeah.
Honestly, I think that's the best prospect.
Yeah, certainly looks very, very true. I'm trying to, like, because I think our overworld options here are kind of dwindling. I mean, certainly, you know, between the combination of both Zelga and MistaEd here.
Yeah, I think a lot of the options that we have are starting to dwindle down.
Alright, I was actually worried that Ed was gonna get dead rock. I had to wait a little bit longer, but you know, Ed is very adept at avoiding the dead rocks here.
And Zelga's about to get the hammer.
Yep, Yeah, I don't know how bad Ed felt necessarily by getting this mirror. I don't know how bad Zelga's gonna feel getting this hammer because, like, oh, how the hammer is literally right here. I could have had this ages ago.
Yes, but on the same token, has it really slowed these
no,
runners down?
It has not. No, I mean, I think Ed and Zelga has made tremendous progress, basically, like, and with their respective items. And yeah, as you rightfully called, they have not been slowed down, basically, or hampered by not having the item like the other items.
It's not like they went into Ice Palace and went through that, and now all of a sudden here they come with a hammer.
Yeah. I guess, like, well, no. So I was gonna say, well, no, sorry, Zelga found Mimic Cave, which I guess, okay, like, yeah, you could have, if you had the hammer, great, like, you know, I think that's one maybe loose end. But, you know, I think you mentioned Spike Cape before. We still can't do Spike Cape because we have no glove. So, you know, it's like...
How many times have you seen a runner go to Spike Cave, they get themselves up to that final, and they try to lift up that rock, and they're like, oh...
I do not have enough compasses, unfortunately, in order to be able to count that high. Yo, Tyler, thanks for the raid.
Okay, so we're gonna have to back around.
Yeah,
Green Pen is Misery Mire. Green Pen is Misery Mire.
Thank you. That is a great actual source of knowledge. All right, so that is two dungeons down. Where is the Cane of Samaria, Rick? This seems even more important.
We're gonna need the Cane of Samaria. We also are going to need something that will get us into Misery Mire. Whether it is finding where those boots are in desert, or where the hookshot is.
Yeah, in order to go get the boots out of desert, we're gonna have to use at least one key. Either it's a small key, if because it's on the right side, or it's on the boss itself. And I guess technically it's always need a small key. Yes.
The book can be found alone in a cave.
Yes,
That's a hint that we've already had.
Considering we needed that book to go get our pearl, I do not consider that to be extremely helpful. I guess nobody ever claimed that hints were helpful, right? They were just hints. We just kind of assumed.
they just are around.
Yeah, that's true. Just like Spiral Cave exists, right, Rick?
Hmm.
I'm sorry. Let us not bring up such dark memories of any locations. We are looking on the positive side. We are here in Palace of Darkness. Looks like Zelda maybe is doing a little bit more exploration. I don't know if he will decide to take follow Ed's path and go directly to Helmasaur with only one key.
I don't know what you're talking about, Clear Mouse.
Well, we haven't found the entrance yet, for what it's worth. A lot more maps here
And
that are
Zelga has
sitting there.
chosen not to finish off with the Palace of Darkness and is still holding on to that one key.
Yeah. I'm also wondering in this case if maybe Zelga is taking a bit more, being more conservative with rushing bosses. Given that they know it's boss shuffle, right? Because we can get Argus back there, and if he doesn't know the boss, I don't actually remember. We had a pod compass. Like, we
Right.
can't actually beat the boss, right?
We have the big key to this dungeon.
Oh yeah, that's a great thing for Zelda. We don't have any rots, but yeah, surely maybe at least one will just be here, right? Somewhere, maybe. How far can we get without Samaria?
Each town is a crystal, and it's located at Ice Palace.
Is that our full knowledge then? We still maybe
No,
need one
we
more
still
map?
need to find out what our third pendant is.
Okay.
Because as of now, we know that there's the flute. That the green pendant is Misery Mire. I think it was the red. It's one of the other two pendants that is Turtle Rock, and then it is either desert or swamp.
Did you see that we got a vanilla
Or
bug
ice.
net?
I was aware that we had a vanilla bug catching net there, thanks to our sick kid, but I've already seen enough vanilla in this game.
It's true. Oh, we are actually getting a in-logic check with the Flippers and Hobo. One of the probably least desired locations to go visit in Inverted. There is no shortcut to get over here. I think the only thing you can really do is just to swim. You know, just exercise those nice arms and legs. And we got a compass, Eastern Palace, which
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure, yeah, that's not something that that either Ed or Zelgar is going to look forward to.
All right, so we have the breadsmith turned in for Zelga.
We still don't have a glove, by the way, after all this time. I was thinking, so like when Ed went to go pick up the flute.
That's
vanilla. Did you say something about vanilla? All of these Kakariko things, it just really seems like the NPCs are just giving you all of the vanilla stuff. Do you think Purple Shells will have a bottle? Place your bets.
All right, Zelga checking Mimic Cave over here.
I do not think that Sword 2 was vanilla. Yeah, Sword 2 was in Dig Game. Yeah, it was not on the full.
That is correct.
Yes.
And they started with Sword 1.
That's right, yeah.
And Ed still doesn't have gloves.
It is so disorienting sometimes when you have late gloves as opposed to when you have late hammer. There are certain things that you just like, okay, well, I only have one Dark World portal. You kind of maybe feel silly.
That's not going to work,
whatever.
Zelga.
I will just say that where Zelga has tried to do mirror placements in order to get to the Dark World from the Light World just goes to show you how experienced he is or how many inverted seas he has played in his rando career.
So I need to make the next tournament, next main tournament, vanilla. Or inverted then.
Yes, correct. Either vanilla, because I think very few, I think, rando runners probably do a series, at least vanilla preset or NMG runs. Or yes, vanilla if you want to try and maybe even up the playing field a bit.
All right. Mr.
right,
Ed realizes before he bonks that he can't do that.
Very, very good.
However, he is gonna go and get into Hera basement. This is good.
Yeah, this is actually very, very good for Ed. We
This
actually
is
just see.
very, very big for Ed because of the fact that he did leave this dungeon, and this is a required big key.
Oh yeah. And the fact that it is so easy to basically deprioritize this location when you have so many other things open to you. As you mentioned, I think Swamp Palace is actually looking pretty nice, you know, for both Zelga and Ed.
Nobody
Looks like
wants to do
Zelga.
it.
No, well, not so far. I guess we're gonna do. Well, at least we have a mirror for what it's worth in order to go do the Smith chain.
No, but nobody wants to go to Swamp. And
Well,
I can
okay,
understand it.
that is a true statement. Nobody, you know, Swamp Palace is probably among many people's bottom tier list of dungeons in order to go visit, especially without the hook shot.
As we
I was
get the
gonna say-
small key to GT.
Oh, great. Are you suspicious of GT? We haven't found it for what it's worth, but I mean, we have the big key. This is our third GT small key.
Oh yeah, that's right. We do have access to the mirror area thanks to the fact that we have the mirror. And we have a mirror bomb.
Like the I hope you enjoyed the little, you know, chocobo little whistle transition. We've certainly heard it a lot.
And I did miss seeing what we had as the boss for. Oh wait, it was blind. We already saw that.
Oh right, yeah, we saw that on at least for both Zelga and Ed.
Super Bunny front has been found, so we can connect those two. Not that it really matters.
All right, so we do find the good half of Ice Rod Cave. It is a heart container. Yeah, it looks like we also did see the vanilla. It is Bombos for Meyer entry. We have 0 medallions to our name, so that's going to be another entrance that will have to remain unchecked until we end up finding the entry requirements.
I just know we are looking for something, and the amount of dots I have on this map are starting to really dwindle.
I guess that's kind of a good thing. You know, one of the complaints I think about Inverted, especially when you get into Light World, is that you have like 50 green squares that you could potentially go to, and you know, which one do you go to first, right? Or which one do you prioritize? And it's very difficult to kind of make that decision. Is Elka actually go back and get this hint?
Yep,
We are
he
going
is.
back. You know, and the fact that we do have. Oh, that's so great.
Game has pretty much given Zelga the middle finger.
Even punished him for doing a chest turn, because he had the text box twice.
And another mirror bonk. All right, so we have two things we need to tease Zelga about at the post-race interview. One, the 8-minute pseudo boots. And 2, all the mirror bonks.
All the, You know, Dunka, he still does play the bonk game, right? How many times you bonk and you know, when he does one of these seats. I'm wondering in this case if we ever run inverted, you know, we should actually do like a mirror bonk instead of just like a regular boots bonk. Alright, looks like though MistaEd is eagerly awaiting his temper sword. I'm gonna assume in this case that he has at least obtained it, and he is doing things behind the scenes.
He's just staring them down.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's a temper sword. He really got to, like, you know, savor the feel of first obtaining it.
As a kid, when you were playing this game, did you ever think when you gave them your money and your sword that you, oh my gosh, I just lost my sword, I can't get it back?
Yes, I was definitely panicking. Because
what do I do next?
Well, and especially if you didn't know that how to basically, like, you had to watch screen transition, right, in order to go get the thing. I mean, like, so I'm really running out of fingers here in order to be counting. Oh,
And Swamp is the other pendant.
All right. Well,
we have our goal.
Where is that hook shot, Rick?
Swamp Palace.
All right. Okay. I'm so how many things have we seen that's vanilla? Okay, those harpies, I guess. Oh no, it's not vanilla. What do we see? We saw a vanilla temper sword. We saw a vanilla entrance to Hyrule Castle. We saw a vanilla bug nest. Yes, Rick.
Clear mouse. I will remember that the next time that Oh.
Oh, hello, Saha.
Getting back to what I was saying about catfish and the heart, or the piece of heart there. I will remember that the next time that you're in Arior's chat and he gets up to the catfish. Speaking of
Yeah.
Quake.
Yeah, speaking of this, right? I corrected myself for what it's worth. We have all 4 GT small keys, Rick, and the GT big key. How suspicious are you of this location that we haven't found yet?
Not yet.
Okay. Not yet? Okay. Okay.
And just in case you have not been here for the entire seed, we do have Boss Enemizer, and we do know the boss at the end of Turtle Rock is the Helmasar King. We know that the boss at the end
Oh yeah, that's true.
Misery Miner is blind. We don't know what the boss is at the end of Swamp, because nobody wants to go there.
Yeah. I don't even know if we've actually found a compass to Swamp Palace quite yet either. We did actually find a small key here on Zora Ledge. We don't know what key it is, but at this point, just better safe than sorry. We don't actually necessarily know where our other 2 items are.
And this small key is Castle Tower. Gee, thanks.
Can we put that back? I don't want to go back there.
It's our first one, so it does give us access to the Dark Maze.
Yeah, but I don't want to go back there. That's the point. Ooh. All right, I almost got actually pushed off.
I'm starting to get the feeling that they're going to go to Agate Tower before they go into Swamp.
That's actually very possible. I can certainly do see that. Because yeah, again, nobody wants to actually go into Swamp. Yeah, by the way, we're still missing a rod. Notably the one of fire. We're actually gonna see Ed come here, at least with no fire rod, but certainly significantly better offense than Zelga had, in that he has a tempered sword instead of whatever Zelga had. Maybe faster, maybe fighter.
And if he would stop getting hit, he would have more hearts.
Yeah. Oh no. Okay. Well, okay. At least he slashed the vines before, he got buddy beamed, but still, this is... Yeah, he still has to go kill the Skipto here for the small key. But yeah, it's... Does he have a safety? I don't think he actually got the potion from Waterfall Fairy. So I hope he's okay on this.
Alright, here he goes. Up against Mothula, down to a half of a heart. Gotta be careful.
I'm very scared.
Got to be extremely careful. Oh!
No, that's just so hard in those days.
He panicked. He had 2 things coming, or he was keeping an eye out for, and he panicked right into the Mothula beam. But that fight, unfortunately for MistaEd, just kind of came down to how many hits he was taking in the 2 rooms leading up to.
Yeah, he definitely lost actually a good amount of health, basically trying to get into the back. And yes, I think by confirmation is that he did go talk to the bomb shop guy, and he knows that Eastern and Skull Woods are red crystals. It's not going to basically stop him though, because there is an item on Mothula, and it could be, doesn't necessarily matter if it's out of logic. We're in Skull Woods, or not Skull Woods. We're in Swamp Palace here on Zelga's side.
Skull Woods.
Well, yeah,
Skull Woods.
It's the other Skull Woods.
Rod!
Ooh, interesting. All right, okay, so that is certainly one potential headache that we might not have to have later. I think it was pointed out by Beer that, it could in fact certainly be Trinex here in the back, or it could be a Trinex that will block us to do something. Always, do not want to go searching for that rod when you're basically blocked by that boss.
All right. Ed does know what the goal is. Both of these runners do know that this is a pedestal goal, but MistaEd does not know. Well, MistaEd has the 5-6 known. Okay, we gotta be careful here, man.
Ed.
Oh
no. It is just
Okay, so MistaEd went through that issue that I know a lot of runners go through, where you start to really frantically try to swing. You're not in the position, so now you just completely swing some more, and unfortunately, he was not in the right place there.
Yeah, I mean, Moth can be certainly brutal, like very, very much so. And part of it also, okay, so I guess like hello. The upside is that because you have no fire rod, it's not like you have to kind of scrounge up for magic in order to kind of redo this room. The downside, of course, is that you don't have the fire rod, and this is gonna, every single reattempt is gonna just be that much slower. By the way, Zelga's here, as you mentioned, Hookless Swamp. Did you know, Rick, that you don't have to need the hook shot in order to get past like the first set of pegs in Swamp Palace? You could actually, in fact, flip a switch to drain the water, so you can swim all the way across to the other side. Did you know that?
Tell me more.
Well, it's okay. So this is kind of like ancient tech at this point, but you know, it is something that people have done in the past before Specky Club was discovered. I did not catch that. Was that Cold Stare, maybe? I did not catch what that was. I saw
That looked like
glimpses of
Cold Stare.
light.
That does look like Cold Stare.
All right. Well, unless Bombos is in here, or the Fire Rod for that matter, we are not going to be able to complete. Well, we can't actually complete this dungeon. We have no hook shot, but you know, my point still stands. We're going to need another item in order to finish the game.
So you were telling me the story of back in ancient days when people played this game, they actually had to hammer down pegs. Where is this fabled room?
Oh, well, maybe we'll see it on MistaEd3's side when he eventually makes his way to Swamp Palace. We will definitely see it again on Zelga's side when he comes back in to Swamp.
Small Key Thieves Town doesn't really help us yet.
Not yet, yeah. We definitely still need the big key to Thieves Town, but once we do have it, you know, the back of Thieves Town's gonna maybe look a little bit more attractive. Everything's relative, by the way. I'm just saying that there are gonna be 4 more items in the back that we can actually get to.
It was 4 crystals to get into GT.
Mm-hmm. Yes, that is correct.
All right, final check coming up here for Zelga.
Oh,
that.
Oh, that is big for Ed. Huge for Ed. Normally, by the way, Rick, did you know that we still don't have a glove? Because there's even less reason to go over here to the Ice Rock Cave area because, well, you know, you really want a glove in order to go lift some of those rocks. That is a very, very big find for Ed because we're gonna be able to, well, we're at least gonna be able to get to the back of Swamp. I don't necessarily know if we're
clear it.
Well, we just can't beat the boss, right? Not yet, at least.
Well, that's because the Fire Rod's gonna be in Hookshot Cave.
Oh, you're right. You're so right.
And Zelga's gonna be slapping himself right now when he gets this.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Zelga, you know, maybe the veteran crosskeys runner that he is maybe just accepted his fate that you're always gonna find the item 5 minutes or 2 minutes right after you really wanted to have it.
And chat also putting out a good note, that hookshot does unlock another location for us.
What's that?
Meyer.
Oh,
we can get in. So we can't beat it, but we can get in.
You are absolutely correct. I totally forgot about the fact that we can. That is one of the entry requirements, either boots or the hook shot.
And is Zelga making his way over there? Not yet.
Well, I mean, to Meyer, or I was wondering if you guys wanted to go back to Swamp. My guess is probably not.
I mean, if he's gonna go back to Swamp, he could have just started at the Dark Chapel.
Yeah.
He's going to Hookshot Cave. Which is right here at the tavern. A little beyond the tavern, but we finally got to our destination.
Yeah, this is very good. And yes, 4 quick checks, basically. Okay. 1 more shield and laser bridges and logic. Cool.
Hey, but now we know what the boss of Palace of Darkness is.
Well, that's actually pretty good for Zelga, for what it's worth. MistaEd just rushed Pelmas. Well, he just rushed the back. That hookshot cave was very underwhelming, wouldn't you say, Rick? Ooh, okay.
About as underwhelming as that clap was.
Yes, thank you. Good reminder, by the way, it looks like, that we do not at least have to do left side mire. We do have a lamp for a fire source, for what it's worth, but we don't have to go waste our time over there. Meanwhile, though, Ed has made his way in. He has done his map check, so he knows that he cannot beat the boss, but with that hookshot, he can certainly get to the back. And, kind of already seen on Zelga's side, we can actually just go, we can potentially go find a fire rod or bombos in the back.
So Mr. Ed going to be checking everything that we just saw from Zelga, plus the 3 additional checks that the hookshot's going to open up, and Mr. Ed's gonna do new tech.
You remember when I said like 5 minutes ago that we're gonna see this on Mr. Ed's side? I apparently was just made a fool of by Mr. Ed because we definitely did not see any of that room. We did not see any pegs. Apparently they don't even exist. We don't even need the hammer in order to go beat this dungeon, you know, on Ed's side. Amazing, isn't
It's
it?
going to Meyer. And that's where our new checks are going to be once Zelga gets through the Meyer first rooms. And I guess this is where we want to remind people to go ahead, follow both of these runners, zelgadissan, MistaEd3. Thank you very much for being here for the Megatational here in the ladder. A lot of great races already going on here. And a big thank you to Big Dunka for getting this on the air.
Yeah, no, this is, I mean, all this entire setup, you know, the whole tournament, everything that Dunka has done basically to put this restream up together, and of course all of the runners, right? I mean, cannot thank these guys enough. And these are, you know, basically like the elite of the elite for a ladder, right? This is the Megatational. There's a reason why it's the mega of the invitationals. Top 16, basically, of lifetime ladder rankings. You know, maybe with a couple exceptions. You know, because I think, but I mean, these guys are like the best of the best, right? They play ladder across how many seasons now? 20-some seasons?
Mouse?
Yes, Rick.
We had the Megatational. When is there going to be the Commentational?
The Commentational? What would the Commentational
bring in all of us commentators in to battle each other.
Oh, I would be kind of scared. Well, but I mean, you know, Dunka, you're listening, make it happen.
Practice. Oh, Bonnie, we saw. Oh, Bombos.
Ooh, all right. That is our ticket to defeating Ice Palace. Or not
We
Ice
are
Palace.
we are Canis and Mario from Go.
That is suddenly. Now, do you think the Canis Mario is just here in Meyer? That would be actually quite amazing.
That's red, but it's not the red Zelga was looking for.
Yeah, and of course, both Zelga and Mr. Ed knows that that left side Meyer is just a bottle of 50 rupees, so we do not need to see that. That's why he, presumably saving cut out.
I bet Zelga's going right straight back to Swamp right now.
Yeah, makes total sense. So we're actually going to see, in this case, both Ed and Zelga in the back of Swamp Palace. Zelga's going to trail Ed just very slightly.
But Mr. Ed really needs a fire source. And in this case, we now know it's the fire rod that he needs if he wants to be able to beat this dungeon. Otherwise, he's setting up for a double dip.
Yeah, that's certainly true. And then, you know, we don't know that Samaria is, but it kind of certainly looking like that we had to go into Meyer without Samaria, so that was going to be potentially a double dip here.
And worst case scenario for Ed is that the Canis Samaria is here, because then Zelga's in go mode and he's still hunting. Glove!
Oh my gosh! So we found a glove. Our first glove, by the way, the 1 hour 22 mark in the back of a pendant Swamp Palace that you apparently had to go dip into Meyer before coming here. Oh my gosh. Wow. Well, suddenly, I don't really know if I wanted to see that glove because the gloves open up a lot of entrances and gives us, I think, too much access at this point. Right now, I really just want, you know, like a very linear path to Samaria, and the gloves do not facilitate that desire. Zelga's like, oh, geez. Okay, all right, okay, we got one more shot on Zelga's side. If this is Samaria on Argus, this is like a tremendous result. Otherwise, Ed and Zelga are going to be the exact same boat, trying to go find where Samaria is. Of course, Ed still needs to go find Bombos from Meyer, but it's certainly going to be a lot more coin flips all of a sudden.
All right, Zelga versus Cold Stare. Also, what was that medallion again to Meyer?
I believe it was, in fact, also Bombos, and they do have access to it.
Yep. And we haven't seen Eastern, we haven't seen Meyer.
That's true.
There's the pendant.
Alright, that is certainly very much required, and the arrows not so much, but we are certainly more Definitely after the prize of the dungeon itself. Yeah, so right now, Ed, just because he was slightly later to the mirror, probably was also going to check out some of the mirror checks as well. Kind of vice versa with Zelga. Was he a little bit late to the hammer? You want to go check out the hammer locations. So actually, what do you think about Mimic Cave? I think we found that somewhere earlier, right? That was only hammer locked? And I guess with the glove, we can also get into Spike Cave? Do we have enough? Well, I guess maybe it's not quite logic for Spike Cave because we probably need something else, like invisibility.
The big thing right now is that Zelga did check a little while ago the Mimic Cave once he got the hammer.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay, okay. Oh, that's right. I think I remember seeing that on his screen now.
Zelga wants to find out what's going on here at this lift rock.
Yeah, and this is actually pretty efficient for Zelga, right? So we can actually find out some of the glove lock locations, because there are certainly a lot of them. And then we can also find out what the Meyer entry is with Bombos. We're just gonna, you know, we lose our sword beams, really confidently lose our sword beams. It looks like Ed's actually having the exact same idea.
The other thing is that Zelga knows that there's a boot somewhere in desert.
It's very true. We still have not made any progress as to finding any of the Desert Palace keys, though.
Any of the Desert Palace keys, which is true, but
Ooh, interesting. And
in this
is not...
case,
Oh, no,
do
he
you
doesn't have
steal the
Bombos.
key?
Right.
There's your Eastern.
Oh, there is your Eastern Palace. This is exactly what Zelga wanted to see, quote-unquote question mark. We do have everything that makes Eastern Palace difficult. It is a crystal. We have no follower. We have the bow. We have the big key. I guess it's something. And there are 6 items there. Okay, we must have found bat somewhere, right? I think.
What?
The magic bat. We just found powder. So I think we must have found magic bat somewhere.
Yeah, it was vanilla.
All right, well, something else I guess to do once we're eventually over in Casarico/Village of Outcast area. All right, and we're gonna chase out.
If I'm looking at everything correctly here, Mouse, Ice Palace is going to be at the back of Skull Woods.
Ooh, is that our only? Oh, because it's restricted. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Unless GT has the ability to swap out with a dungeon, but otherwise,
I
Ice
guess
Palace has to be
know.
at the back of Skull.
Yeah, actually. Yeah, how many? Oh, well. Okay. Who is a fan of Eastern Palace? I am listening from anybody in chat, maybe in particular from either Shady or Marty or Walkix.
At 1 hour, 26 minutes, and 50 seconds, Zelga is in go mode. MistaEd missing 2 pieces of the puzzle right now, as Zelga hopes to clinch his spot into the next stage of the Megatational.
Yeah, Zelga, I believe
Boss,
so
by
far.
the way, just to answer chat, Meyer Boss is blind.
Yeah.
So we are true
Zelga
go mode.
They've already had to fight 1 Vitreous. I think that was probably enough for them for this particular seed.
Yeah, I think the question was, would we have to deal with a Trinex? We don't have to deal with a Trinex.
We certainly do not. That is correct. Yeah. So I mean, at least for Zelga's route, he seemed to do. Even though he did go into Swamp Palace without the hook shot, it did not necessarily hurt him because as much, just because he was able to finish up the dungeon after he went into Meyer to go find Bombos, which still it looking like that was required. We don't know where in this case the fire rod is.
Well, the Bombos was 100% required because Eastern was at Meyer.
Right. Oh, yeah.
And
Actually,
had
that's
the
pretty
cane.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I'm just in this case wondering if you could have single dipped Meyer and Swamp Palace, and I think the answer is no. You had to basically go into Meyer without something.
Well, you had to double dip Meyer. Meyer was 100% double dip. You could single dip Swamp. Just the big thing was Meyer had to be double dipped in this case because the Bombos being there.
Yeah. Right, Bombos was in Meyer, and then that locked the Vanilla Meyer entrance, which was Eastern, which had some Aria, yes. Yeah, so it certainly would have been very good for Ed if the fire rod was just back there, so he didn't have to. Because he still has to go back to swamp, right? Because he did not have a
Hmm.
fire source in order to go kill Cold Stare. But I think even then, just the lead that Zelga has right now over Ed is seems quite
And
distant.
and the reason why this lead is what it is because what Zelga did after getting that hook shot, leaving swamp, getting that hook shot, his decision, go check hookshot cave first. Then he went to Mire, and that was the winning play because Mr. Ed has not gone into Mire yet.
Yeah. That's certainly very true.
Manila Vire, that's an enemy in Zelda 1, Brogor.
Is it real? What? Is it really?
Well, there's an enemy called the Vire in Zelda 1. I don't. It's in
Oh,
Manila,
that's pretty
but
cool.
we might as well call it that.
That sounds great. I love coming up with new bestiary etymology.
It's just perfect if they ever come out with that next 2D Zelda game.
Yeah,
Come on,
can't wait
Nintendo.
for a remake. Yeah, we're waiting patiently.
No remakes. Just give me an original 2D Zelda game.
Oh, true. Yeah.
If Super Mario Wonder can do things for 2D Mario, then we can do things with 2D Zelda.
Oh yeah, definitely tons of fun. All right. Well, it looks like though Ed's gonna chase some more mirror location spots. Kind of hopping off to Mimic Cave and gonna maybe check out the rest. Oh no, or this. Maybe he didn't already know this.
Yeah, he did not. So he's gonna unfortunately chase this at this stage, and Zelga is about 2.5 minutes away from finishing this seed.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's right. And both Ed and Zelga know that it is a pedestal goal.
Yep.
Nice fun. And unfortunately, you cannot, freeze the door before, maybe trying to soften it up a bit. And yeah, so Zelga's already finished Swamp, it's already finished Turtle Rock, and this is going to be the last boss for Mire.
Yeah, the unfortunate thing here for Zelga is just having to deal with this blind in the goo, but Kane and Samaria, great strats here. I think Zelga's played a few Enemizer Seeds. He's begrudgingly had played a few Enemizer Seeds, but he's played them. And the other big thing for Mr. Ed was the unfortunate couple of deaths that he sustained.
Oh, right. I did forget about all of his Mothula tossles, in the back.
Yep.
Skull was, I remember that.
All right, there you go. That is the third and final pennant for Zelga. A run to the pedestal.
Yeah, you
And
were talking
Zelga-
about...
I was just going to say, and Zelga will have won this race.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, you were talking about actually, how experienced, and comfortable. Well, comfortable it might be too big of a stretch, but how experienced, Zelga looked basically, taking down enemized bosses, towards the end of the dungeons. I have seen Zelga begrudgingly go into Eastern Palace without the big key and the bow. So, just because that he does not like it does not mean that he, would not necessarily be forced to do this, right?
He knows when he needs to do it, and he knows when he doesn't need to, That's the thing that separates Zelga at this stage. Yeah, he doesn't want to go into Eastern without it, but he knows when he has to give up the meme and go on. But as far as this race is concerned, a dash to the pedestal, and it will be all over for this one. Get your GGs in chat. Zelga has won this race.
Yeah, big congratulations. Zelga played quite well. It's handle all of the enemizer aspects of the seed. I'm certainly within expectations to his ability. And he routed the seed quite well. All right, looks like that is...
Mr. Ed takes a jump and unfortunately finds out what his fate is.
Yeah, and certainly get your G's on chat for Ed. He certainly played the seed again, very well. It's just that, man, that Mothula fight certainly did not help his chances in this particular case for this race. But I think otherwise, like he certainly made a lot of very, very good decisions. It just happens to be in this case that it just weren't enough in order to counter Zelga. as you mentioned, right? Like, probably the biggest difference, at least in the end game, was that Zelga, when he got the hook shot, basically took it directly to Meyer, and well,
Hmm.
hook shot cave and then Meyer, and then Ed decided to not chase the hook shot.
Yeah,
So in order,
and that's just the thing. You just realize that one thing is supposed to lead you to something else, and that's the reason why we say hi to Zelga first as the winner of this race.
Zelga, GG's.
Yo, GG's.
So Zelga. Something wrong with your A button, buddy?
I mean, I saw there was no boots on the starting screen. You don't have boots. What are you gonna do?
Yeah, you're right. You don't have
It's just-
boots.
It was just funny the fact that MistaEd found out about it immediately, and the way that you found out it was the dark cross room of the castle.
Where you almost died trying to open that chest.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
I mean, we did have to tease you about that. The other thing we had to tease you about was your mirror box.
Oh, dude, inverted is cursed. Why do people even play this mode? So I don't know where the mirror is.
Right? Anyways, I think you just turned the back conversation to what we were just talking about. You deciding after you had left Swamp, got the hook shot out of the right side there on the coast, near the Ice Rod Cave. You went to Hookshot Cave, got nothing there, then went to Misery Mire, and that was the big difference.
Yeah, I realized immediately after I save quit, I didn't activate my flute either, which was really annoying, but I don't think it hurt me all that much, honestly. I basically would have just got to Eastern slightly faster.
Hey, Mr. Ed.
Yo ho.
Mr. Ed,
I-
GG's.
Yo,
I
GG.
clearly misread the hint from Dark Sync guy. I thought Meyer was literally nothing. That was my hint, and I said, well, I don't have to worry about Meyer literally ever.
Oh, where the hint
Oh, I
was about the
see.
two on the left side of
Yeah,
Mire.
I didn't pay attention to the left side of Meyer. I saw that Meyer. I thought it read basically Meyer only contained $50 in rupees or something. I'm like, well, good enough.
Oh, that makes a lot of
That
sense.
would do it, yep.
Yeah.
Because the bombos being in Mire, which led to the entrance to Mire, which was Eastern Palace. That's where the Cane of Samaria was.
Yeah, Zelga for me. Which, by the way, first off, GG's to Zelga.
Yeah, big GG's.
Yeah,
I have
no,
a
that
feeling
was
you played this better than me.
yeah. Well, not necessarily because I felt like I made a mistake by saving the old man, and then I tried actually going out of sequence or out of logic for a little bit, and then failed the current jump, which was fine. And then it kind of felt like I had the idea of, all right, Moon Pearl is literally only going to be at this point. It's either going to be the dumbest chain of events, or it's just going to be go into the light world, go to Bottle Merchant, or find Checkerboard Cave. And
I mean,
and
you
I
were
would-
right. It was the dumbest sequence of events.
nah, there's been a lot dumber. There's been a monumentally a lot dumber.
Well, I know that, but the fact that you had to retrieve that book plus the other sword to get it off the Bombos tablet.
Yeah, no, I mean that could have been worse, but like I think the one area where I may or may not have saved time was I said, you know what, I'm just curious, I'm gonna do the little I'll talk to the bottle vendor. Oh, if he doesn't give me the Moon Pearl, I'm just gonna YOLO to see what is up.
Mm-hmm.
And then I kind of basically looked and said, okay, you know what, regardless of what is there, I can go get it. And okay, it's Uncle, it's got a bow, that's great. And then it's all right, well, I'm going to do these checks, and I'm going to make my way back down south and check the cache area in case, anything was there. And then it's like, okay, well, lo and behold, there is Checkerboard Cave. And I got that book, and I was making my way out, and I said, nope, that's the ticket. Let's go check Bombo's tablet. And that felt good. So, like, I was able to kind of do CAC and, as far as checking entrances. Like, I don't know if Zelga ended up checking entrances and kind of having, like, the same thing doing that, but like as people that play entrance modes, having to go in and out and in and out and in and out, especially if it ends up being something that you end up having to go back to, feels like a monumental time loss. And I was able to kind of bypass all of that, which felt halfway decent.
One
Yeah.
thing we were worried about at one point in this race was you getting back to the Tower of Hera, because you both had taken care of the Tower of Hera at almost relatively the same time, but you didn't have the small key. Zelga did, and we found out that that was the TR big.
Yeah, I mean, I at least I got that because it was part of my loop. Was all right. Well, I'm gonna have to go check to see what the eastern entrance was, and okay, lo and behold, here's Meyer, and I didn't have a hook shot or boots anyways at that point. And coincidentally enough, I didn't even get the hint yet. But I said to myself, well, since I'm here, I got the Harris small key. This is literally I don't want this to burn me. And that felt kind of good there.
It was good that you wound up getting back in there. Zelga, how about that boot hint?
Yeah, that was nice. I had to stop and think for a second. How could I possibly like go to the back and steal the key so I could go right side? But then I realized I don't have a glove, and I didn't get a glove until basically go mode. So that was fun.
In case you didn't hear the answer, boots were in Desert Palace.
Yeah,
And the hint was in desert.
Of course it was. It was funny because I said to myself, well, you better check the hints, and then I forgot to, and then it's like, all right, well, I'll check the one in Hera, which, was just a fake one, but I'm like, well, hints are on. And then I saw that hint in Meyer, and I'm just like, all right, well, I have no, because I thought about saying, something seems fishy, at some point go to Meyer once I get the hook shot or something, and then at that point, all I kept thinking about is well, according to that hint, it's got absolutely nothing, so I don't have to worry about it. And yeah, it just felt like forever and a day it was going to be a fire source, and Samaria was going to be my go mode. And yeah, little did I know I needed both Bombos and to get Samaria. So yeah, that was probably never happening anytime soon. But no, this was a fun one. Big thanks, big GGs to Zelga for doing this. And thanks to everybody in Group A. I'm happy to report that I got my butt destroyed. Yeah, no, this was fun between Zelga, Xanthalos, and Worfjig. Two of those three are going to move on, and I get to gracefully bow out. So I wish everybody in our group the best of luck. And everybody else that's taken part of the Megatational. Thank you very much to Dunka for giving me the invite and letting me participate. I did bad. But no, this was fun. And I look forward to possibly the next Invitational tournament.
Well, I'm sure Big Dunko appreciates having you here. Isn't that right, Mouse?
Oh, for sure. Very well said, Ed. I think you've definitely. I think the appreciation that you've shown for people, as actually definitely very reverberated with them. So.
Yeah, I think for today we will not bring you out to the glue factory.
I've already been to the glue factory, and yeah, it's cold. But no, this was, like I said, no, this was fun. And again, I failed to mention this. Thank you very much to Clear Mouse and Rick for doing the commentary. I do have one question though. The auto tracking, did that work? Because I know Duncan put a lot of work into that, and it looks like stuff works. So
Yeah,
cool.
work like a charm.
Nice. Duncan's so smart. God bless him. I can
He
never do
is,
that.
right? He is. I think it's all like I think it's the annual Fogo trips that he takes on Thanksgiving that really like gives him his superpowers throughout the year, and that's why he has to go recharge, every year.
Makes sense to me. I like it. Makes sense to me. But yeah, no, again, thanks to everybody participating. If I'm not mistaken, by the way, it's gonna be an interesting matchup between Zelga and Xanthalos. Does the winner of that actually move on? Is that how it's no?
I think if I win, I would advance, and Worf would
Right.
advance. If I lose, it would go into like we'd all have a 2-1 record, and I have no idea what that means in terms of the tiebreak.
Zelga advances with a win or a non-FF loss or a loss of less than 1 hour. Werfjig advances with a zelgadissan win. Melxanthalos advances with a win. Melxanthalos owns the tiebreaker. That is according to Big Dunka.
Okay,
Beautiful.
good to
The
know.
suspense. Well, look forward to that matchup. I forgot. I think you guys have that scheduled, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, it's Friday morning, 9 a.m. Eastern, I want to say, something like that.
Happy Black Friday, everyone.
Happy Black Friday.
What mode is it going to be?
Potpourri, which I've literally never played, so it should be fun.
Well, good luck. Get yourself some rest. Maybe play the Retrons coming up in 15 minutes. And I think we'll close it out of here, Mouse.
Yeah, sounds good. Thank you so much for the commentary, Rick. It was a ton of fun. Thank you so much
Thank you for
for
inviting
joining me.
me.
Oh, this was great. Thank you so much, Ed and Zelga. I mean, you guys were an absolute blast to watch. Always a big fan in order to try and do your races for commentary. I think you guys played very well. Just so specifically like the Vitreous fights with Up and Hera took two very different approaches, but extremely sound. And you guys basically took that down with some kind of questionable equipment.
That's because I forgot I had a bow for that fight.
Oh, is that what?
Yeah, I was
Oh,
like, oh
that's
yeah,
hilarious.
I got Master Sword. That's good enough. And yeah,
That's
as
hilarious.
soon as I left, I'm like, wait, I'm an idiot.
Well, I had Master Sword and I had arrows, but I couldn't figure out to say, well, I think I have to kill a couple of the eyeballs, so I camped up top and still took damage. And then once I killed like a couple, I'm like, yeah, I'm kind of getting bored of this. I'm just gonna blast all my arrows, and yeah, we're done. So
Well, GG's to both of you. Any closing thoughts?
Yeah, just big GGs to Mr. Ed. Thank you, Rick and Clearmouse, for the commentary. Thank you, Dunka, for putting this on and the restream. And yeah, I'm looking forward to Friday's race. And yeah, maybe I can not last locate next time, and it'll be cool.
not
Oh,
you, not
Zelda.
last. Wait. Do not get me going with not last locate.
I mean,
For me, it was
technically,
for
I think
me.
I had Hobo left when I got the hook shot. I
For
think.
me, it was poor choices. I mean, I got that hook shot, and then I started doing other stuff. But yeah, no, that made sense there. I am happy to report that Zelga, Werfjig, and Xanthalos have properly shamed me. So I'm gonna go back to what I do best, and that is take my aggression out on AFG and shame him. So I might be back on at some point to do that. That is my shameless plug of the day. I thank you.
Thank you guys so much. Yeah, I think this will be us for wrapping us in. Again, thank you guys so much for racing. It was a ton of fun. And thank you so much, Dunka, for doing basically all the tech stuff. He did all the tracking, all the tracker setup. He did not physically do the tracking. He sent his minions to go do it for him, and they did wonderfully. He set up all the restream stuff. Everything just worked. We were basically just able to talk about the stream, and that's the best thing that we can ever ask for. Thank you so much,
And we
Dunka.
do appreciate you, Big Duncan. Thank you very much for inviting me, Mouse. It's been fun. And GG's once again to both of our runners. Be
Yeah,
sure to keep an
GG's.
eye out on the ladder Discord to find out upcoming races here in the Megatational. And good luck to all of the runners. Hey, go have some fun. I'm Adirondack Rick saying goodbye. Clear Mouse, you had the final word.
Yeah, no, thanks. Apparently there's a retrance ladder in 15 minutes. So, if you want more entrance, that's not inverted, and that's universal keys. Go play that. I believe, at least what I saw on the schedule, it is Specs versus Schultzer tomorrow for cross keys at 3 p.m. That is at least one potential up for restream. So if you guys are interested, or I don't know if Duncan already has plans for that, but if you are interested, certainly feel free to lend your voices because entrance is cool. So, but until then, have a great rest of your night, and we'll definitely see you back here for more ladder. Oh, SG Daily. Oh, sorry. Okay, never mind. There's more entrance. There's more rando everywhere. All right, until then, have a great rest of your night.